Okay, so I am known for my bullish bias. When we are trading, I always like to go for the buys on the NASDAQ, on US30, and on gold. I love riding those bullish waves. You can see this one. Even last year, right, we actually won a lot of trades. In fact, most, if not all of my trades. This year, yes, I have decided to push myself a little outside the box, and I am in this trade. I saw this really nice trade on gold, and I decided to take, a little something outside of my comfort zone, because I haven't been trading for over 6 days, 7 days, almost over a week, a little over a week now, because of the holidays. And the moment I opened the chart, the only setup that I could see that was really nice was on gold, and guess what? It was a sap. It actually looks like it's going to be a game changer, right? Let's just do a little bit of the analysis. As you can see, the gold was sitting at a really good point of interest. If we go back in time on this chart, this is a really strong zone, considering how many times the market has been rejecting off of this level. The gold market has been rejecting off of this for quite some time. When the market gets to this zone, it was either rejecting, either breaking out. So this is a really great point of interest. I see that after the buyers have pushed the market to the upside, they got to this level and then they started to reject. So just for that reason, right, I didn't have no other crazy analysis. I was just looking at the market, and I decided to take in 5-6 trades on gold. A bit of that, my trades are just there stock, and I'll probably pick up and just join it with the weekly analysis video if this trade actually, well, whatever it does, if it plays out well, if it doesn't play out well, I'll just bring it to you guys, show you my first trade of the year and how it's actually going to play out. But for the meantime, I actually don't have anything to trade other than that. Yes, I'll see you guys on Sunday when I'm explaining the whole video and showing you guys how it actually would have played out. Now, if you're new to the channel, welcome. We trade the NASDAQ over here. If you're returning, welcome back here to know what's up. Don't forget to hit that like button, turn on your post notifications, and subscribe to the channel. So from the gold trade that we had running on Friday, things took a little bit of a turn. Things got really interesting. Obviously, I'm always going to be checking the NASDAQ chart also. So I noticed a stunning breakout, as you can see right over here on the 4-hour time frame. Even on the 1-hour time frame, look at this, a perfect textbook breakout setup that we had right over here. And you already know me, I love taking buys when the market gives such a clear signal. Now, we had gold running at some time over 100 pips, but with both markets running and the overall volatility that we had on Friday, I could not risk holding 2 trades at the same time, 0.3 lot size on gold and also on NASDAQ. So I decided to take my profits on gold with a little over $100 on each of the trades, and that had me closing with, like, slightly over $300. Now, this is solely because I wanted to give all my focus onto the NASDAQ trade that I had run. You should also be able to do this as a trader, make situational analysis. I'm only trading a $4,500 account. 0.3 lot size on gold is a large lot size for a $4,000 account. So I have to, evaluate that and realize that, okay, this might end up blowing my account, or I might end up taking a bigger loss that I actually want to take if it goes against me. So I wanted to focus on the NASDAQ, closed off my gold trade, and then now remain with the NASDAQ trade, where you already know that I'm always so confident when I'm trading a buy on the NASDAQ. And look at this, the NASDAQ absolutely crushed it, moving up to the top. The market just kept pushing higher, and I held on to these positions till around about 9 p.m. and then eventually closed them all out for a very profitable day. So those were my first 2 trades of the year. The first trade of the year was gold, and then the second trade of the year was the NASDAQ, and they both played out really well. But now let's dive right into the weekly analysis. And I've been off these charts for how many days? 7-8 days from around about this part, right? We left the chart around about this level, and it just shot up to the top, and then it started to drop. It feels like the market was missing me, right? It was just selling. I like to go for the buys, and we're just having the market selling right over here like this. And now that I'm back, we start to see a little bit of a bullish trend. You can already see from the trade that we closed off on Friday, right? We had the market breaking out of that trend line that we had, and then this is already showing us that the buyers have started to step into the market. Now that I'm back to make the analysis, so maybe the market was simply waiting for my analysis to get back on track, a little bit of my magic, on the NASDAQ. But looking on the fundamental side of things, we have news on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday is a public holiday, and then Friday we have NFP for December, right? So it's going to be a really interesting week, good volatility that I'm going to see, and we're super excited to get right back. Now, talking about the NASDAQ, you already know that what we want to do for today is to do top-down analysis, because we haven't been on these charts for quite some time. want to understand what has been happening. So what I had missed out, on the NASDAQ was just the sell that the market was giving us, on the 30-minute time frame. Let us go to the daily time. The only thing that I want to focus on are the candlesticks, right? For today, let's talk about the candlesticks, because we already see that NASDAQ is still on an uptrend, right? This is very clear. And then we do have a little trend. Let's just draw the trend so that we are not confused. We do have a little trend that we have right over here, like this on the NASDAQ. I did drop this on the free signal group. If you're not in it, check the links below to join that group, right? So when you're doing top-down analysis, this is just to get the overall picture on the higher time frame. Obviously, you're not going to trade, using the daily time frame, because we are not swing traders. We want to look for setups each and every single day. But from what I'm seeing right over here is that the market has gone back to a very interesting point, right? We had broken out. These were highs once upon a time on the NASDAQ. The market has gone back to those highs. This was a resistance level. It was broken out of at the zone, and it has been turned into a support. So this is our new support level on the NASDAQ on the daily time frame. And then also we have our new resistance level at this level right over here. But then since it's a daily time frame, we have a couple of resistance levels, right? We can have that one, we can have this one, we can even have this right over here, the one where the market is currently. But then those are the things that we should understand, right? So obviously this market is going to close off with this bullish candle. We do understand that the buyers in this case have stepped into this market, and they did it at a good point of interest. But then what I want you to notice is the market hadn't really gone, to touch the trend. Like, it didn't really tap into, our point of interest, right, on the daily time frame. I want to see it really tapping on this level, or even coming into this level right over here, right? So this is what I want to see to be more confident in the setup. But then this doesn't mean that that is what the market is going to do, right? So we do have a little point of interest also that we said is another resistance level that we are looking at on the NASDAQ on the daily time frame. So with this thought process, we already understand what we're going to be looking for in the market. First of all, there's a chance that the market is going to drop from the level where it is, because that is a resistance, drop back down. And I'm always going to look for buying positions because the overall trend is a buy. At the resistance right now, I'm not looking for anything other than a breakout, right? If I see a breakout, then the setup has been confirmed. I can start looking for buying positions. But before I see that, I'll wait for it to come back down to this level. Also, if we notice, we can already form a little trend like this at this level right over here, but I don't want to use that yet, right? That was the downtrend that the market was playing with. You can see we have a little trend like this. So the moment it breaks out of this level also would be interesting in taking those buys. Now that's it on the daily time frame. So top-down analysis is you looking at the daily time frame for an overall bias. Question every single thing that you have to question, then drop to the lower time frame where you refine that bias and see where you get possible setup. So going over to our 4-hour time frame, right? Now on the 4-hour time frame, we can already see I don't really like my chart to be looking so dirty, so I'm going to go on ahead and delete most of these things. It's going to be our resistance level right over here. I'm choosing this level because that is where we have quite a number of touches. And if we also bring it back in time, we can see that it was a really good point of interest once upon a time, where the market was trading to the downside, broke out of that level, turned it also into it was a resistance. It had been turned into a support, and then it moved back. The market came, tapped on it as a support, moved back. Right now it has gone back to the same level, and it is using it as a support again, a previous support from this level right over here. And that's exactly what it's doing. So I actually chose this level without even looking to see if that is what it had done, because I've seen I've spent a lot of time on the charts to understand that this is basically what it actually means. All right, so as we're looking at the chart right now, yes, this is going to be my first point of interest because it's a zone, right? I'm not going to use the trend line to say I want the market to sit on the trend line per se. I want it to get to a point of interest, which is an area of value, right? It's not just a line of value, it's an area, right? So you want to, maybe you can get to this level or to this level or to this level, but then the whole area is what you want to be looking at, right? And then now remember, we said we do have a little, just the same thing, right? If you notice, the market is always moving exactly the same way. Now notice this zone, right? We have I just looked and I noticed that I've seen this thing before, right? Look, this level where we had the market dropping and then it forms this and then it pushes up. This is exactly the same thing as this here that we have, where the market dropping, it comes to this level and then, oh, do you know what's even more interesting is it dropped, came back to this level and closed like this on a Friday. Look at this. This is exactly, I did not even notice that it dropped and then it played around, whatever. Then this right here where it closed was a Friday. It opened on the Monday with a little gap, right? And then it used this level as a support and then it just pushed up for the rest of the week or weeks, or I don't know how many. Look, that's exactly the same setup that we're having right over here, right? And obviously they're not going to come exactly this because the candlesticks are all different, right? So that's exactly what we're looking at here on the NASDAQ, right? The market dropping and then forming this little level, right? So we can have it either breaking out of this, turning this into a new support and then pushing up to the top, or it can reject at this level, come back to this, probably this level after it forms all of these other things and then pushes up. But then these are the only things that I want to look at. I will stop on the 4-hour time frame because that gives us the overall bias, right? On the 1-hour time frame, a lot of things can happen from now. Probably on Monday, a lot of things can happen on the 1-hour time frame. Also remember to consider your lower trend lines. If it breaks out of the lower trend lines, there's a chance that it will come to these levels. That's it on the 1-hour time frame, but everything else does look good. If I'm looking at this trade that I took on Friday where we had the breakout of this level, this is just a rough little trend line, right? You now draw it a little bit more accurately. So we had the market breaking out and then retesting, and then we traded this level and it has gone back to the zone, which we also have a trend line at the bottom. Well, it doesn't look complicated at all. So the buyers have been confirmed in the market, but then we really want them to be confirmed also on the higher time frames for us to be having a lot more confidence in the setup than what it just currently looks like now. This week doesn't look complicated at all, nothing too crazy. But if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to hit that like button, turn your post notifications, and subscribe to the channel. You feel me? But that is been Tino, and I'll see you in the next lit video.